Φίλοι και φίλες του Sportal, καλησπέρα σας. Η σεζόν για την ΑΕΚ Betsson ολοκληρώθηκε το Σάββατο 18 Μαΐου και έχουμε εδώ μαζί μας έναν από τους πρωταγωνιστές της φετινής σεζόν για να μας κάνει τον απολογισμό της φετινής πορείας σε μια σεζόν πάρα πολύ έντονη από όλες τις απόψεις. Jordan, thank you for being with us.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Thank you.
And the first question is, the season is over. What's the last taste on your mouth about the whole season?
I mean, the season had its fair share of ups and downs. You know, we had sometimes more downs, but it was a great group of guys. Everybody, they got along really well. I think we fought hard. You know, at a point our goal was to make it to the playoffs, and we did that. So I mean, you know, overall, the season ended okay.
If you had the opportunity to change one thing through the season, which one would be and why?
That's a tough question, man, because, you know, earlier in the season, you know, changing coaches mid-season, it's tough. I think if we had Zoro the whole time, I think that, you know, it would have helped us more. I think his style of coaching, it suited us a little bit more than our first coach. So, you know, just having one voice the whole season, I think it would have helped out a lot.
Back in summer 2023, when you signed with the team, obviously the expectations were high, the goals were high as well. Which was your mindset going to this team in the past summer?
I mean, we wanted to be a top 4 team, for sure. We wanted to be able to compete with Pana and Olympiacos. And, you know, with a lot of the guys that we signed some big name guys who had a lot of experience. But, you know, it didn't work out the way we all planned.
Why, from your perspective, why it didn't work out?
I think there was never really roles identified sometimes on the team. Like I told you before, early in the season, at times we had a lot of lapses with our IQ, and I think that hurt us a lot late in games, because we lost a lot of games in the fourth quarter within, you know, 1 or 2 points and 5 points, and a lot of those times it was because of us.
And also, we saw in the first half of the season that you competed against Olympiacos and Panathinaikos in close games at their home court, but in the second half it was a completely opposite phase, completely opposite, because you lost almost easy. How can you describe, how can you evaluate that process?
You know, when you're playing those kind of teams, your margin of error is really small, and Olympiacos is great. If you make one mistake, you can be down 5, and next thing you know, you look up and you're down 10 or 15. And I just think making mistakes against those type of teams, it hurts you.
And on BCL, you're starting pretty well the season with 5 straight wins, but since then you finished the season with 7 straight losses, including the game 6 of first round.
It was tough, man. Like you said, we started off really well. The first set of teams, I mean, let's not fool ourselves, they weren't that good. So, you know, and then we got a taste of, you know, really, really good teams. The Spanish teams were tough, and like I said, it was tough for us. And then, you know, like I said, the brand of basketball that we were trying to play at the beginning of the year, you know, with the group of guys that we had, you know, it was tough for us.
Now the season is over, and if we look back, December looked like the most pivotal month of your season, because in the beginning of that month you lost Ben McLemore. He parted ways with the team, and at the end, in December 23rd, Kuzminskas injured, and also Gabegele left. How those things affected on the team?
Obviously, Kuz was our leading scorer, so having Kuz out for a number of games, that hurt us a lot. When Fee was healthy and with us, he protected the rim. So, and that was our one true center that we had the whole season. So losing him, it affected our defense in a number of ways. And obviously, losing Ben, his ability to be able to really, shoot the ball, he guarded well. So having all those losses back to back, that it hurt us bad. And like you said, it was a very crucial part of the season.
Do you feel that the guys who replaced those guys were not on the same level, or it was something else?
No, I wouldn't say that. Obviously, Brandon Knight was almost an NBA All-Star. So, with him being his first year overseas, I think Brandon Knight did an amazing job. When he came, the team didn't have much direction. So I think a lot of the guys who came on the team, they kind of came into chaos.
Mm-hmm. There is one game in Patras against Apollon. It was the second game of 2024, and you lost it. And it looks like for many people as the turning point of the season. Which was the real turning point of the season?
I think the loss, the Apollon loss, obviously that really hurt us. When we lost to Prometheus when we were up, we held them to 35 points in the first half. In the second and the third quarter, they scored I think 35 in the quarter. So I think those two losses, it just really hurt because those were losses that those were wins that we needed and we didn't get.
And you mentioned the coach change through the season from Coach Plátha to Coach Zúro. What was the biggest difference in those styles?
Everything. Everything was a night and day. I think with our first coach, it was more of like a college style. Everybody had to pick their man up as soon as the ball was scored, full court. And, we had to get the ball across the court in 3 seconds or less. So it was more, for a lot of older guys, we haven't played like that in a very long time. And then with Zúro's, he's coached. It was more of like a veteran style, So their philosophies was night and day.
Did you see a different vibe in the locker room with Coach Plátha and with Coach Zúro?
Yeah, Coach Zúro is one of the guys. He wants to, he wants you to smile every day. He wants you to appreciate life, and with him, it was much more lighter.
And if you had the opportunity to go back in the season and play one game, that this game could change the whole season of the team, which one would
it's a few. We beat Rhodes by 20. They beat us by 23.
Yeah.
And those 3 points are why we weren't in the top 6. The Apollon loss, we had Aris beat at home in the 4th. We had Peristeri beat at home in the 4th. So like I said before, we just had those games that we had won. We just we couldn't get it done at the end.
The issues outside of basketball court, how affect on this team?
I can't really speak on how it affected guys individually, but going on strike is tough because we're not getting those days of practicing that we need. Guys are trying to come in at their own time and work on their game. But it was 3 games that we played towards the end of the season where we didn't have practice before the games.
But especially the game 1 against Olympiacos at Sheffield, you played like you didn't had games without practice, days without practices.
Like I said, the energy was a little off, but I can't speak on how it affected everybody. But as for me, I've been blessed to make some money throughout my career. So, I was able to, still manage everything I have going on in my life. But, for some of the younger guys who's their first or second year who haven't had the opportunity yet to make money, I think it affected them more. But at the end of the day, with this job, we're blessed to be able to play a game that we love, and and it was for some guys I say it was tougher for other guys than it were for some.
Let's go back to the strike days. Did any player think that he would like to leave the team? Because I guess you talked in the locker room about that situation.
No, that's the thing about it was everybody liked playing here. It was times where I think some guys, they could have left, but they didn't leave. And for us, we've always had each other. Like a lot of guys, they come to my house sometimes and we'll play cards, we'll go out to eat. So, a lot of that stuff is, you don't want to ever leave and start all the way over and, got to learn a new system, got to learn new guys. So we trusted the owner. He said that he was going to correct some things, and that was that.
If the season was normal on and off the floor, how far this team could go?
Like I said, I think if we have a consistent coach throughout the whole year, I honestly think if he doesn't leave, I think that changes our defense for sure. We were either last or second to last in defense.
Yeah.
So throughout the season, us scoring, we didn't have a problem scoring. But if we can get a few more stops, I think that changes the whole year.
And how can you describe the interaction with ΑΕΚ fans? You received a lot of messages. They support the team through the season in every game that they had the opportunity to go.
I would have loved to see ΑΕΚ fans there more in the gym. The games that they were allowed to be there in full force, they were amazing. But to not have them in a lot of important games, it was tough. Sometimes you feed off that crowd energy. When you go up 5, go up 10, and the crowd is really loud. And for a lot of big games, we didn't have that.
And now you're a free agent. The season with ΑΕΚ came to an end. What are your thoughts? Is it back on your mind to stay in the team? Would you like to stay in the team? What are your thoughts going to the off-season?
Of course. I mean, Athens, Greece is one of the most beautiful places in the world. Sometimes when you're away from America so long and the culture is so different here, it's not like that. I can go places and talk to everybody in English and not really have any trouble as far as that. As far as the team, like I said, I love to hear. I have that feeling, like you said, that I really want to know what could have happened if the team we had a consistent coach the whole season. We had a consistent 15 guys the whole season. And I would have loved to see what Ike could do with that, with the fan support that they have, with the location, which Ike is at, and the players that Ike is able to attract and get. I think that this is a place that guys would want to always come. I think, we have to address the elephant in the room. I think once the financial issues are behind Ike, I think this is a place where guys would love to come back. The owner's a great guy. George, he's a great guy. All of the staff at Ike, they're great. So I just think this is a place that I wouldn't mind personally. I wouldn't mind coming back here. I love it here a lot.
And what kind of message you would like to send to ΑΕΚ fans after everything that you've been through after that season? What's your message to them?
I mean, the message is, like I said, this team, the history behind this team, it's amazing. I feel like there's no reason why Ike shouldn't be a top 4 team every year. There's so many factors and why this is an amazing place. I just named a few, where it is, the history of the team, the gym, the fans. This is a top-notch team, and I think that this team, they deserve to be back at the top 3, top 4 every season.
Jordan, thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Thank you.